Do you remember the 1950s? If you think you do, get ready to have your memory jogged in ways you never expected. We are about to uncover 15 things from that era that have been almost completely erased from our collective memory. Some of these are so strange, you'll wonder if they were ever real. Stick around, because the last one is a real shocker that completely changed the way families lived. Let's start with something you might have had in your own home, the radio. But not just any radio. Before television took over, families would gather around massive console radios that were pieces of furniture in themselves. They'd listen to radio dramas, comedies, and news reports, painting pictures with their imaginations. It was the original family screen time. Next up, remember drive-in movie theaters. Pulling the big metal speaker up to your car window. The crackly sound, the double features under the stars. It was the ultimate date night or family outing. You could bring your own snacks, and nobody cared if the kids were a little noisy in the back seat. How about telephone party lines? Imagine sharing your phone line with several of your neighbors. You had to wait for the line to be free to make a call, and anyone on the line could listen in on your conversation. Privacy, not so much. You had to be very careful what you said. Let's talk about travel. Before the interstate highway system was fully built, road trips were a real adventure. You'd navigate using paper maps, stopping at quirky roadside motels and diners. These weren't chains. They were unique, family-owned places with neon signs and home-cooked meals. And what did kids do for fun? How about playing with toys that would be considered seriously dangerous today? Think chemistry sets with real chemicals, wood-burning kits, and metal toys with sharp edges. It was a different time for sure, with a lot more unsupervised play. If you're enjoying this trip down memory lane, take a second to hit that subscribe button. We have so many more fascinating stories from the past to share, and you won't want to miss them. Now, back to the 50s. Remember the milkman? Fresh milk in glass bottles delivered right to your doorstep every morning. You'd leave the empty bottles out, and he'd replace them with full ones. It was a simple, personal service that's almost completely vanished. And what about S&H green stamps? Your mom would get these stamps at the grocery store or gas station. Paste them into books, and then redeem the full books for household items from a catalog. It was the original loyalty program, and filling up those books was a serious family project. Think about what people wore. For men, hats were practically a requirement when you left the house. For women, it was all about girdles, gloves, and perfectly coiffed hair. Getting dressed was a much more formal affair, even just to go to the store. And speaking of stores, remember the 5 and dime? Places like Woolworths, where you could buy almost anything, from candy and toys to sewing supplies and housewares, all for a few nickels and dimes. They even had lunch counters where you could get a milkshake or a sandwich. How did you stay cool in the summer? For many, it wasn't with central air conditioning. You'd use window fans, sleep on the porch, or head to the local swimming hole. Or you'd find one of the few places in town that was air-conditioned, like the movie theater, and spend the whole afternoon there. Let's talk about school. Duck and cover drills were a regular part of the routine. Students were taught to hide under their desks in case of a nuclear attack. It's a chilling reminder of the anxieties of the Cold War era that children had to live with. Remember home economics and shop class. Girls learned to cook and sew, while boys learned woodworking and metalworking. These were considered essential life skills, taught right in school. Today, these hands-on classes are increasingly rare. And what about sending mail? The mail was delivered twice a day in many cities. You could mail a letter in the morning and get a reply that same afternoon. It was a level of service that's hard to imagine in our world of instant digital communication. The list keeps getting more unbelievable, doesn't it? But wait until you hear this next one. It was a common sight in kitchens across America, yet it would be completely unthinkable today. Okay? Are you ready for the last one? The thing that truly defines a forgotten part of the 1950s. It's the in-home incinerator. That's right. Many new homes were built with a small incinerator chute, often in the kitchen, where you'd throw your trash, and it would be burned right there in the basement. It was seen as a modern, clean way to dispose of waste. Can you imagine that today? It's a stark reminder of how much our understanding of health and the environment has changed. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow 4 more trips into the past.